Good day, Dragonslayers. This is Dr. Tom Bittker, Martin Luther King holiday, and also Inauguration Day. Those of you who witnessed the inauguration witnessed a celebration of American history, which had its antecedents all the way back to the time of George Washington. Among the elements that were demonstrated during the inauguration ceremony was, first of all, the prayers. We were a godly nation, and I trust we will become a godly nation again. The people who were emerging in the United States leadership had all been, at one time or another, the victims of religious persecution. That is, they represented generations of people that had fled other countries to come to this country to find tolerance. And as a consequence, the motto of "In God We Trust" was something that all agreed upon without regard to what particular sectarian affiliation they had. America later became a refuge for not only a variety of Christians, but Jews and ultimately Islamic people. And we are represented by people who still gravitate toward religion and still wish to incorporate God in their lives. In addition, what you witnessed today was a different message than what we've been witnessing over the past 4 years at least. And that message is we are a country that is seeking unity. The problem with the recent progressive movement is that they ultimately succeeded to divide America one from the other. When you incorporate principles such as diversity, equity, and inclusion, you actually incorporate principles that represent a contradiction to what those words represent. People who were celebrating diversity and equity and inclusion were actually trying to suppress diverse opinion. Equity is not equality. Equity is an opportunity to have the state intervene and choose one group over another, which ultimately leads to unnecessary conflict. And inclusion actually ultimately means exclusion by certain people. We function best as a colorblind society that seeks to elevate people of promise and merit based on their performance, and as MLK said, not the color of the skin, but the content of their character. I anticipate that the next 4 years will be interesting. It'll be years also of conflict as we attempt to recenter ourselves in founding principles. We function better as a society that genuinely celebrated our diverse backgrounds and were inclusive. But when those principles are imposed upon us by an external agency such as government, it inevitably produces resentment and separation and disunity. We were likely to see that in the re-energizing of our military that is no longer being preoccupied with things such as drag dances and advancing all sorts of subgroups. Rather, we're going to take talented people and work on a group of people that are best likely to defend our country. Hopefully, we won't have to use those folks. Anyway, this is a concluding point that I'd like to make today. That is, let's go back to first principles, the principles upon which this country was founded, and first religious principles, with regardless of what sect you may be a part of. Ultimately, the major religions believed in love and in peace and in worship of a higher power. I hope this presentation leaves you with health, hope, and I look forward to talking to you next week when I'm likely to be rejoined by one of several new partners. Be well all, and Happy New Year. Bye.